What do you think about borders? Are borders necessary? Like, a united front technically would mean a world with no borders.
I mean, I personally don't see the big deal you talking about the wall.
I'm not talking about the wall, but it's
Oh,
part of the conversation.
Well, borders. I mean, if everybody was to be right and stuff, there wouldn't be no need for, you know, borders, walls, or anything.
Well, it's just so weird for me, and we're going on a tangent, but I like that. It just seems so weird for me that like there's depravity. How do you say that word? Deprived. People are deprived just south of America. People are deprived in America too. Don't get me wrong, but just south of that border in Mexico, and we can even talk about people who live in the Middle East. Or whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be right next to us, but like they are not the people who want a first world life are sometimes excluded from it. Now there are, people like the Taliban who wish to have a third world life and they want to live in the third world and that's what they want. And if that's what they want, fine. Just try not to bomb us if you can help us, right? But in the case of like Nicaragua and the people coming up from Honduras and El Salvador and Mexico and other South American countries, they just want what we have. Why can't they have that where they are? And why do they have to come here to do that? And how can we help them have that in their countries? And is it even our responsibility?
I mean, if you don't want them coming here, then the other option is to
build up their communities, right?
Right.
But like, it's not that I don't want them here.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like,
yeah, you
get like a, I guess like a constant echo on social media and all those platforms of, they should stay where they are.
And I feel like, well, this is what's weird for me about where they are. Let's just talk about Mexico for a second. I don't know if you've been. Have you been to Mexico?
No.
All right. It's kind of a weird spot. Now, I've been to Cozumel. It's an island, literally an island. I've been to Cabo San Lucas. And when you fly into Cabo, you fly in and the airport is just a mad grab of people trying to, sell you something. It's like, oh, white man, buy this, buy that, American. And then you get into the car, the taxi that takes you to the resort. Well, in between the airport and the resort, it looks like little Kuwait. There's literally a guy with a stick and 2 cut-out jugs of water walking in these shoes, looks like old Nike shoes that are now flip-flops. And he's got on torn clothes, and he looks like one of those Indian guys who builds the cool things on YouTube.
Yeah.
He looks like a peasant. And he's like walking with water that is clean, I guess, to wherever he's going. And I imagine he's already walked 5 miles. And then there's all sorts of like pollution and trash on the ground and weird stuff like that. And then you get to the resort and you're there and all of these brown people are serving you. And it's like, it's weird, because we're in America and we're coming to grips with that whole concept of class here, and we don't want that necessarily. We want everyone to be on equal footing here. At least we think we do. I guess the liberal media wants that. I want that as a liberal minded person. I want that. And so like you get to the resort and everything's taken care of, but you're on this like isolated and there's like a wall around the resort so none of the peasants can get in. And it's like, it's really weird and you can't drink the water. And like, it's awkward.
There's not many places you can go in the world that you can drink the water.
I know, but like when you get into certain places in Mexico, like they have these little oases of first world. And they're blocked off from the rest of the community.
Yeah.
Why can't that be the entire country? Why can't there be infrastructure in place so that everyone can live in a first world environment, in a safe, clean environment.
Well, the American dollar has probably built that up to a certain degree.
Well, I mean, I walk in with $100, I might as well have 1,000. You know?
Yeah. That's the reason why you get the interactions when you're at the airport.
$1 is
all the-
$100 of them.
All the way to the resort. But the thing is, you got the same people that say go back to your country, yada yada yada, are the first ones that go on vacation in places like that.
Which is a giant hypocrisy. And my wife, she's kind of a bleeding heart. You wouldn't know it because she comes across pretty hardcore. But we get down there and she's like, I don't like it here. And I'm like, why not? She's like, it's just, there's something wrong about this place, you know? And she's like, I'll never come back. And I'm like, okay. She's like, I don't like this at all. And it's that breach between the vacationers and the commoners. And that, to me, like, you go to vacation in Miami and that's not happening there. Not necessarily. I mean, like, there's a lot of different types of people there. It's a melting pot. And most people are living middle class, but there's a lot of like resorts all around that. And it's like a normal American place to go vacation. You know, you go to Disneyland, it's not like that. You know, Disneyland isn't in the middle of a giant third world country, right? It's in Florida.
Yeah.
You go to California, the same thing. I mean, now it might be fires and brimstone, but back when Disney World or whatever was out there was in like Pasadena or something like that, surrounded by, you know, tons of first world amenities. So why is it that, you know, you go to those places and that's how it is? You know, I don't know. It just seems awkward for me. I'm not a fan of that.
So are those places American places, like American-owned places?
Well, we were at Dreams Resort, and it had English text across the building, and so I imagine that's owned by some conglomerate with but with American backing or some type of banks from, you know, whatever. And so it sounds American to me, you know. I mean, it's not like you're going to the Oaxaca, Resorta Day.
Yeah.
And so,
One, you'd probably have to get rid of the corruption.
well, and that's a big problem. I mean, and I feel like that's the drug war issue, which is another tangent that we could fly down for an hour.